Wait a minute, so does that Android 13 thing, is that a deal breaker for you? And is 5G a deal breaker for you? Welcome back to the channel. And ladies and gentlemen, it's not every day that you get to hang out with a supermodel, but today that's what we're going to be doing. So this is the HotWav Cyber 15 smartphone. It's a smaller, slimmer, lighter, rugged phone from our friends at HotWav. And the fun thing about this is that it's so pretty, it's really easy to convince people you've spent a lot more money on this than you actually did. When I got this and took it out of the box, I was kind of blown away because it is really a pretty phone. If you've been on this channel for a while, you know there's another phone that I've been rocking for several months as my daily driver. Well, this, while not nearly as feature-packed and actually lower spec, this has replaced that phone as my daily driver. I used this for a few weeks just to test it out, and you know what? My SIM card's not coming out of it. It's not flawless. It's got a few things wrong with it. It's not very high spec, but for me, it's the right fit. Let me tell you about it. Okay, so as you observe its beauty here, you're looking at a 6.6 inch screen, 450 or 480 nits I think is what it is. She only weighs 292 grams, so pretty light by like rugged phone standards. It has the G99 Helio processor in it, which is, you know, nothing special, but it's packed with 12 gigs of RAM and then 12 gigs of virtual RAM. So I'm figuring out as time goes on, the amount of RAM that a phone has a lot more to do with how well it's going to behave for you than its processor. And you know, I'll throw up some video game footage here for you and some other stuff, multitasking stuff for you so you can see how well it handles all that. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with it. It's got a smaller 6280 milliamp hour battery. I mean, smaller by like HotWav standards and all the other rugged phone standards. But that makes it like super light. You can carry it around. It doesn't weigh your pants down or anything. It has an SD card slot, dual SIM card slot. The SD card slot can bring it up to 2 terabytes, 256 gigabytes of ROM, so not massive. This is actually an older device. It's only got Android 13 on it. And if you're thinking, oh, that's a deal breaker, well, I want to ask you something. Like, what changed between Android 13 and Android 14? Do you remember? What about 14 and 15? And I just announced 16. What changed? I don't know. And I use these things and I test these things. Like, I know some of the things. Like, if I went back, like, oh yeah, they changed that. But Android 13, whatever's different between this and the Android 16 device I have in the house, I don't really notice it, other than I think 13's prettier to look at. But I put custom launchers on everything anyway. So on the back, it does have this, I think it's roughly like 1.5 inch screen on the back. It's pretty much the same thing we saw on the Hyper 7 Pro and the Hyper 7S and all the other phones from them. So I think it's 1.45 or 1.5 inches. So you got that little screen there, shows your basic information, kind of like a smartwatch. And if you scroll, you have media playback, which works really great. And then you have the camera function, and this is, I got to touch it just right, there we go. And that's, yeah, then you can use it to take pictures. 200 megapixel camera, by the way. That's what this bad boy is. And got to hit the back button. There we go. And you have a compass, and then back to the home screen. Oh, swipe up, and notifications, and no notifications. I intentionally cleared those. And then you have just a little status there. Gives you the battery percentage. Now, the rear screen, you may be thinking that's a gimmick, you don't need it, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, kind of, I guess for some people is it a gimmick, but as I've mentioned before, if you have your phone laying on the bedside stand at night, and if you ever have it like this, and you get a notification, or whatever you want to interact with it, skip a phone. If you want to skip a song, and the full screen lights up, you get very tempted to dive into it. With that, you don't get as tempted, and you can swipe up, read your notifications real quick. I actually like it, and I do use it from time to time to skip tracks for when I'm listening to music. Not everybody's going to use it, and if you don't use it, you just, you know, don't use it. So I mentioned the camera situation, and in that beautiful red ring there, we have a 200 megapixel camera, main shooter. We have a 24 megapixel night vision camera, and on the front is a 32 megapixel selfie camera. And I'll throw up some sample footage here, or sample images, and you can take a look at it. Now, video and how fast any phone or camera can take a picture really depends more on the processor in the phone than the actual lens itself. So this has a big, huge lens. All of that's going to be limited by the fact that it only has electrical image stabilization, and it has the G99 and a Mali something graphics processor. So it won't take like really fast burst photos, and the video's not fantastic, and you're not going to have really crazy fast frame rates. But for most photographs or most usages, it's going to be really good, really useful. It's not like flagship quality pictures, but it does a good job. I actually like it. Here's some sample pictures and some sample video. So if you look behind me, you'll see the stop sign. This is where I normally film my videos, but very low light. This is the selfie camera in very low light. But let's take it even darker. Let's go outside. I don't know if you can hear the crickets. Let's go outside. I'm going to show you what this camera can do in complete blackness, the video, and then I'm going to show you what the night vision can do. Okay, so this is the regular camera, the back camera. That was my front porch. This is facing 180 degrees away from my front porch. What do you see? Yeah, I haven't moved. That's an oak tree. That's an oak tree that you could not see. The front porch. So if you're wondering about night vision camera on the HotWav Cyber 15, well, this is what you get. So going around the device, I think it's very pretty. I love how pretty this thing is. It has this red programmable button, so you can do, let me turn it on here. You can do a single press, and for me, that turns on and off the rear screen. I like that. Long press, and you get the flashlight. And double press, and we get the camera. I love that feature. And on the other side, you have a volume rocker, real pretty volume rocker there, and you have the power button, which I hope every phone company in the history of ever pays attention to this. This is the only way to have a power button. This is the only way to have a fingerprint sensor. Putting it here, if this is your fingerprint sensor, first off, you have to turn the phone on, and then you have to hit the fingerprint sensor, and then you're going to leave a fingerprint on your freaking screen. It's kind of dumb. This, it's on the side there. So as soon as you touch it, it's unlocked. I will say, just so you know, most people you're watching review videos of phones, they've never actually used the phone, or if they have, they used it for a week, or they played with it in the studio. I actually use the devices, and I beat the tar out of them to the point that every single device I use, because I'm rough on stuff, I've broken this. This is not the screen. This is the screen protector that HotWav provides with it. It's cracked there, and it's cracked there. One of these was from my daughter was using it in a pool, because this is IP68, 69K, mil-spec 810H, so super durable. You can wash this in a dishwasher, you won't have any problems. But my daughter was using this in a pool, and she went to throw it to me, and it face planted against the edge of the pool, and I think that's when that crack happened. But that's why I don't buy fancy fragile phones from Samsung and crap. This comes with a wall charger, comes with 2 cables, comes with a SIM ejector tool, comes with the screen protector, everything you need to get started. I wish all the big companies were still doing that. It's funny that you have to pay less to get more nowadays, and that's kind of the whole HotWav thing, right? It's not flawless. It's got a few things that are kind of weird about it, and it's missing a few features, like it does not have wireless charging, so you have to have it plugged in, and that means popping off the little gasket cover thing on the bottom and charging it through there. It has no IR blasters. Some of these models, some of these rugged phones have IR blasters. You know, that'd be nice to have. And the weirdest one, I've actually reached out to my buddy at HotWav to see if we can get an answer about this. It has a FM radio app on it, but in order for the FM radio app, with every single HotWav device I have ever tested, you have to plug in the headphones for the FM radio app to work, and there's no headphone jack on that phone at all. I find that kind of curious. Okay, so that's not the only problem. It's also only a 4G phone. Like I said, it's an older device. It's been around a minute, but it's dirt cheap. You can get them for around $200 to $230, I think, online. Wait for a sale, get it down to $200. But right now, I think it's like $230 for this thing. And so it's a 4G phone, but before you get hung up on that and it being an Android 13, you should do some speed tests between 5G and 4G. Pull up the speed test app. There's a few of them on the market. And test, if you have a 5G phone now, go into the radio and turn it back onto 4G so it doesn't use the 5G, and test them back and forth. I actually can get faster speeds quite often with 4G than I can 5G, and I live in a 7 million person metro area. We have all the latest tech and all that stuff, but if there's a tree in the way, your 5G goes away. So 4G is actually, I almost see that as a benefit. No lie, I know that sounds ridiculous, but I actually almost see that as a benefit. It only has one speaker on the bottom, and it's not very loud. Some of their phones, like the Hyper 7 Pro, have dual very loud speakers, like crazy loud and really good sounding speakers. This is one of the drawbacks of buying a cheaper phone. You get one speaker, but it's plenty big enough for listening to stuff around the house or whatever. But if you watch this channel, you know I'm weird and I take showers and watch videos in the shower. I can't hear this phone in my shower. So all that being said, it's obviously not a flawless device. But I said at the beginning of the video how pretty this is, and I don't know how well this shows up on camera. But I have taken this out in front of multiple people, specifically members of the fair sex, and asked them, hey, you ever seen a $2,000 phone? Because people know I review phones, so say, you ever see a $2,000 phone? And
oh no!
And I hand them the phone, and they'll,
oh my, oh, that is pretty. I like that. It was solid. I like how heavy that is.
Because it's a little heavier than your iShams. A cheap phone used to be, if you bought a cheap phone, they were ugly. They looked like blobs of rubber. I got a couple over here. I won't pull them out. Look like blobs of rubber, and they're cheap plastic. And if you tried to bend them, they would creak. There's no flex. There's no creaking. Nothing. It's like solid as a rock. So I let them play with it for a second, and then I say, just kidding, that's like a $200, $220 phone. And then they're blown away. Then they're like,
what is it? What is it? Where can I get it? What is it?
So if you want a pretty phone, maybe not top spec, but you want a pretty phone that's rugged, you're not going to be able to break it, this is not a bad choice. And I'm using it simply because I like how light it is. I like how quick it is to charge. It has all the features I need. I'm not a gamer, as you know, so hey, but I game for you, so here's some gaming footage, I guess. All right, so a little channel update, what to look forward to. So I will be using this for quite a while, and I don't know for how long because I got other devices coming, but I will be doing a follow-up probably months later. I'll let you know how this hangs in there because I'm already impressed. It's already, unlike some of the other brands we have around here, every HotWav device we've gotten has gotten software updates. The Hyper 7 Pro had a problem with the camera where the white balance was off when we first got it. We got it right when that was released, and they patched that. So, hey, good on HotWav, and this has gotten a couple of patches. I don't remember what the exact last date of the last patch was. So, in a few weeks or a couple of months, we'll give an update on as to how this has fared. I have an update on a Ulefone 25T Pro, which has not fared well. I'll have that coming up. But if that's the kind of thing you're into, you want to check it out and see someone who actually uses the phone they're reviewing, then give me a like and a subscribe and a comment. So does that Android 13 thing, is that a deal breaker for you? And is 5G a deal breaker for you? I don't know, you tell me. Love you guys, talk to you later, bye.
You know what the worst kind of meaninglessness is? Not the ones who have become weary of pain,